Hey guys, welcome back to the Style and Beauty Doctor on YouTube. Today I am going to be trying out a bunch of products for the first time, and I'm doing it on camera, so I hope this goes well. I mean, if it doesn't go well, I mean, who cares? Who gonna check me, okay? But anyway, so I'm going to go through, a couple of products that I recently got. There's a few that I bought, and then there are a few that were sent to me. For instance, Mercier sent me their new Flawless Finish Ultra-Longwear foundation. I went out and bought some new products from Black Radiance. They have a cream contour palette. Their powder contour palette is amazing, and it was only like what, $6, $7, maybe like $8 for it at the drugstores. But now they have a cream version of it. It comes in light to medium and medium to dark. I'll have the swatches of light to medium on the blog, so make sure you check that out via the description box below. I also, from Black Radiance, got the Blushing Bronze palette. This is limited edition, so if you're interested in getting it, you might want to, well, first let's see how it works before we go say if you're interested in getting it, because, you know, who knows. But they have this in 2 shades as well. This is the dark to deep, and I believe the other shade is called light to medium or something like that. But I'll have the swatches for the lighter palette in the description box on my blog, okay? Okay, so then I'm going to use this. Now, I have not even checked to see if this is a color that matches me. If it winds up that it doesn't match, then we'll just switch out and use a different foundation, but then it won't be like a first time. See, this is why I don't try some of these things. So much pressure. Anyway, this is the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Longwear Foundation in shade 6N1 Truffle. I think I'm Truffle in the last Laura Mercier foundation that came out. I can't remember the name, but I'll put the link in the... I can't remember the name, but I'll put a link in the description box because I did review it, so you can see the swatches and things like that. So, you know, sometimes when you get a new foundation, I'm like squirting for like ever, and you kind of get the product out, and then when the product finally comes out, it's like, that didn't happen here because I was careful. Now, looking at it on my hand, it looks a little light, but who knows, maybe it can oxidize, maybe, well, let's get it on. Let's get it on. Oh, not so bad. If you can even see it. It blends right in. It's a very liquidy kind of consistency, which I feel like a lot of long-wearing foundations have. A lot of long-wearing liquid foundations have this kind of consistency. You can build it up if you need a little bit more, but oh, I'm already seeing a difference. Can you guys see can you see the difference, Nas, between this side of my face and this side of my face?
Yeah.
Okay. And I only used a little bit. Yes. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. So, because I film in a totally different place than where I live, I can't come back and tell you my thought. Oh, I could, but it's not the camera quality is not going to be the same. So, if you want to know, about wear and things like that, make sure you check out my review on the blog, because I'll have my full thoughts and all that kind of stuff on the blog. So I feel like, I don't have it with me, but I feel like I have a Sephora foundation brush. I think it's called an airbrush, Flawless Airbrush brush, something like that, but I'll put the name in the description box. I feel like that would have been a better brush to apply this with, just because of the consistency of the foundation. Kind of reminds me of the NYX Total Control foundations, which I also reviewed and will have in the description box. The Beauty Blender is doing a good job, but I just feel like that brush would have done a better job given the consistency. Now, I have a big old scar on my forehead from a pimple that I got like a week ago. So it's covering it pretty well, but it's in that stage where it's just like taking over for the 2017. And I also have natural, what I call contour lines on my face, on either side of my face. It's a line of discoloration that I've had since forever, but it's like right in the place where you would put contour. So I'm liking how this looks. Let's do a like you know, like the model thing, like. So I'm liking how it looks so far. I'd have to get up in different lighting to see like if we're in congruence with like my neck and chest. But that's usually something you can't get often with just one foundation anyway, because as women of color, you know, we tend to be lighter in the center, darker around the perimeter, which is why highlighting and contouring can be really cool. I'm not in front of like a great mirror where I can kind of just like make sure that it's a great color match, but it's looking kind of good. It's a little on the red side, which is okay for me in the summertime because my undertones do tend to get a little redder in the summertime, warmer in the summertime. So now I'm going to set this with the Laura Mercier translucent powder in the medium deep. So Laura Mercier sent over the medium deep translucent powder a couple of weeks ago, and I've been using it ever since. I like it. It gives you a nice matte, but not like casket sharp matte. It gives you a nice soft matte finish where it kind of helps to blur the pores a little bit, but not where it's like Instagram filter. So I like it. So I'm just going to use that to set the foundation. Yeah, I can see now that as the light changes, and if the light goes up and down or really bright and then dark as we're filming, it's because we use natural light, and you know, the sun, the clouds, and the clouds moving and things like that, it changes the light. So what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Okay, so I will be using some products that I've used before. Here I'm just using the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer. I'm actually gonna do this off camera because I have a gazillion videos with this on, so I'll put those in the description box, but I'll be right back with my brows on, okay? So if my skin tone changes throughout this video, it's because of the light. So now I'm going to do my eyes. I've already done my eyebrows off camera. I'm now gonna do my eyes. So I'm gonna use the Pixie Beauty and It's Judy Time eyeshadow palette. I've had it for a while. I didn't have a chance to like really play with it until maybe about a week or two, well, more than a week ago, maybe about a month ago. It's actually really awesome. It's a really awesome neutral palette. I haven't used it on camera or done a review for it, official review for it yet. So I will use it now. I feel like I'm always doing like neutral eyes makeup. I actually, every time you see me here, I'm probably wearing a variation of the same makeup look. So I think I'm gonna do a series where I try like other makeup that's in my stash, maybe like bright colors and things like that. So if you want to see something like that, leave a comment below. Okay, so I put on my liner, my mascara, and my lashes off camera because these are things that I've used before, and I've put them on camera a gazillion times before, and I want to keep this, you know, kind of succinct. So now I'm ready for the Black Radiance Cream Contour Palette, which I'm trying for the first time on camera. Now I did dip my fingers into it to swatch it because I wanted to take pictures of it before, you know, I tried it on camera, but I have not actually tried it, experienced it yet. So this has a sculpt, contour, and illuminate. So, you know, pretty much self-explanatory. They say sculpt, and I'm trying to see if there's a reason why they say sculpt. I'm sure they have a reason why they say sculpt, but the sculpt is pretty much highlight. I guess you highlight sculpt if you think about it really deeply. You can see that, you know, why they would say sculpt. Anyway, using the sculpt shade to highlight. Smells good. Smells like there's some sort of like, almost smells like baby oil. And it's really smooth, but it also feels a little thin. I'm used to wearing slightly thicker, like the Cover FX cream foundation or the Bobbi Brown cream concealer that I usually really love to use to highlight. It feels much thicker. This feels very thin. So if you need a little more coverage, you'll have to layer. Now I'm going to apply the contour shade. The contour shade looks very warm, and normally you want to contour with something that is cool because, you know, the cool undertone will cast a shadow, which is what a contour is. But sometimes you can get, depending on your undertones and depending on the look you're going for, sometimes you can get away with using something that's a little more warm, that's a little warmer. So we shall see. Now you don't have to use a cream and a powder to contour. Sometimes I just use just the powder. Before I used to use the cream and the powder, but then I stopped because one of my makeup artist friends doesn't use a cream and a powder to contour. And I was like, oh, okay, you know, I could use less product. I go back and forth. I guess it depends on your preference. Is this contour showing up? Mm-hmm. Okay. It looks very red to me in the mirror here. I don't know how it's coming off on camera. Now, in my contouring mistakes video, I also tell you that, which you should check out and it's in the description box, is that not everybody's highlight and contour is going to look the same because we have different face shapes and we have different things that we want to highlight and contour, to highlight and contour. So, not everyone's highlight and contour is going to look the same. This really smells like baby oil. Okay, and then I'm going to blend everything out with the Beauty Blender. I'm going to do it so you can see it. Okay, so I like this. The colors suit me well, I think. I do think it's a little thin, so you have to layer to build up. But we'll see how this wears out. Well, not we'll see. I'll tell you about it in my blog post. And this is what it's looking like so far. So now I'm going to set the areas where I highlighted and contoured with the Highlight and Contour Powder Palette from Black Radiance. So what we're doing here is we're setting it because creams, I would always set a cream with a powder because you don't want it to be all, you know, getting everything everywhere and then it doesn't set and it could break down and just look greasy. We want to set it. And me personally, I can't just use a powder to, I can use a powder to contour. I can't just use a powder to highlight because I need that extra layer for the highlight to show up. And the powder is too thin for me to do that. So, but if you're able to do that, go on ahead. Oh, got makeup on my shirt. Go on ahead because nobody's gonna stop you. So I'm going to let this bake a little bit off camera and then I'm gonna come back in, finish it out, and then we're gonna try out the, what is this called? The Bronzing Blush Palette, limited edition from Black Radiance. So I'll be back in, well, I'll be back in the next frame, but technically I might be on the outskirts for like 15 minutes, but so the pizza's here and I need to hurry up and finish this because I'm so hungry. So I don't think I baked for as long as I was aiming to, but we cousins, so if I'm not, you know, looking, you know, as whatever, it's all good. It's all good, right? So let me just quickly do this. Yo, the things you do when food is here. Okay, so I already love the contour palette, the powder one. I already love that, so that's a no-brainer. It was, you know, interesting to see how the two worked. Of course, if you want like a full in-depth review, make sure you check out the description box because I will have a link to it. Okay, so now I'm going to use the blush, the Blushing Bronze palette. That contour is looking a little iffy. I feel like it's not as dark because look at it compared to, yeah, look at it compared to, if this is not showing up, I'll take a picture and insert it. Here's a closer look. As you can see, the Bronzing Blush palette, the contour shade, which is, you know, technically a bronzing shade, is much lighter and it's not as warm as the contour shade from the powder palette, which is a little disappointing because when you put a gorgeous bronzer on your cheeks and put a bright blush on top of it, it gives you a really pretty sun-kissed glow. But if you're about my shade, and of course if you're deeper than me, that contour / bronze shade is not going to make a difference. If you're looking for some great bronzers, make sure you check out my posts on the blog. I just wish they made the contour in this darker. You know what I mean? This blush shade though, this is like the perfect shade. You need that brightness. Make sure you check out my Blush 101 for Dark Skin video. You need that brightness when you have a darker skin tone with the blush. The darker your skin, the brighter the blush, honey. Don't be scared. Okay, so I'm like, is this even put on correctly? Because I'm like smelling that pizza. I'm like, oh my God, we gotta hurry up. And I'm just going to use the highlight. Okay, so this is just the L'Oreal Infallible lip paints. These are awesome. These are like a crust, they have like a really thick, opaque gloss. So it's like a hybrid between like a gloss and a lipstick, but it's like really glossy, super bright color, very pigmented. So I haven't worn an orange colored lip in a long time. How's this looking? Like, we liking it? What's up? So, so like I mentioned all throughout the video, if you're looking for my full thoughts about, you know, how it wore throughout the day and yada, 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 I will have a blog post on that because as I mentioned before, I film at Naz's studio in Brooklyn and I live in Queens, so I can't really do the let me go out all day and come back and give you my thoughts. I could, but then the video wouldn't match, and by the time I get home and do that, it's gonna be dark, and I gotta figure out lighting and all this other stuff. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you thumbs up if you want to see more videos like this. Make sure you also follow me on social so we can keep the party going. And leave me a comment. Which products from this video were you most interested in before you watched the video? And is it the same product that you're the most interested in now that the video is over, or did that change? So basically just leave me a comment with a product. There was a couple of other things I asked you. Basically what I'm saying is let's just keep talking. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. And I'm about to chow down on that pizza. Bye, guys.